Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Whoa. Wow. Holy cow. Oh, hey there. I'm having a lot of fun with some virtual reality. It's the Oculus. It's the new Quest 2, as a matter of fact. Our next guest with a company that builds technologies to help people connect with friends and family, find communities, grow businesses. They do a lot of stuff. As you know, of course, we've been talking about them a lot in our 27 years on the air, although they haven't been around that long, have they? Well, we'll have to see. From the company known as Meta, formerly known as Facebook, their director of product marketing for Reality Labs is Megan Fitzgerald. Megan, welcome into Tomorrow. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me here today.
It's a pleasure, Megan. I had to literally grab these off our staff and say, we got to do an interview about them. So I have to have them in the studio so that we had the Quest 2 and the controllers. This has been not only the hit here at the studios for the past week that we've been able to play with it, but has a whole lot of folks saying, I'm definitely getting that for Christmas. So, number one, is it available yet? And how much, so folks can begin to plan accordingly? And at the same time, want to remind our radio audience to be sure and visit us at intotomorrow.com and see the video of the interview with Megan and the use of this very cool device. So let's talk about availability and price first.
Sure. Well, this is a great gift for any teens or adults on your holiday list, and I can confirm that it is available. So you can find it on Oculus.com or at many of your local retailers, Best Buy, Target, Amazon, Walmart. You can find it on Amazon. And at $299 for all-inclusive virtual reality, no additional technology, cords, computers needed. You just pop it on your head and you're there in virtual reality. You can get started at that low price point and grab one for anyone on your list this year.
Of course, we've heard a lot about the metaverse, and you're here to tell us about VR specifically, virtual reality. Is this Quest 2 going to get us into the metaverse? Is that kind of the goal here?
Well, the metaverse is this idea that we will connect through this 3D virtual world. It's the next generation of the internet where you can do things that aren't possible in the physical world, and you can spend time and connect with people who may be far away or you can't be with physically. But that whole vision of the metaverse is probably a few years away. Maybe your grandson will be able to use the headset around the time that we've got that metaverse experience coming out.
There you go.
But in the meantime, if you want to have a sense of what it feels like to be in the metaverse, to feel like you're present with people and experiences that you couldn't access in the physical world, the Quest 2 virtual reality headset is a great way to do that, where you feel like you can step inside a game or inside an experience and really be the hero or the main character and interact with the environment around you. And then over time, as we build out this broader idea of the metaverse, you'll be able to really interact in all sorts of new ways that we don't even have as possible today.
Well, one of our staff, the first time he put on the Oculus headset, found himself in Berlin. And we're there every year for about the last 18 years for the big IFA Consumer Tech Show. And he's looking around, wow, God, oh, there's the Brandenburg Gate. And we look up, there's the Reichstag. Oh, my gosh, he says, this is where we've stood. And here we are again, here at our studio doing the same thing. So certainly the ability for one to put themselves anywhere on the planet, or maybe even off the planet, is pretty impressive.
That's right. So you're talking about these experiences that let you travel around the world. And that is really something special that virtual reality and the Quest 2 allows. It's not just games, which a lot of people think of when they think of VR. There's things around fitness, around travel. A great piece of content, an application you can download is called Ecosphere. And that lets you travel to these amazing environments around the world, like the coral reefs of Indonesia, the jungle jungles of Borneo and not just sort of look at it, but get up close with animals, learn about them, feel like you're on this amazing adventure just from your own living room.
Wow. And a lot of it we've discovered, thank God, is free. So these are things that you don't have to necessarily pay extra for. You mentioned the all-inclusive for $299. You've got the Quest 2 system, and you can immediately enjoy it. It doesn't require a separate computer, because the first thing others have asked is, oh, but where's it connected? Where's the computer? There's no separate computer. It is an all-inclusive device, which makes things easier. And of course, you have the option of purchasing games and other things. What are the kinds of things that you have found so far most people are just thrilled to give a shot with right away?
Well, one of our most popular applications is a game called Beat Saber. This is a rhythm and movement game where it's almost like you're inside a song. You score points by hitting these blocks moving at you in time to the music. And it's a really great way to feel like you're connecting more with your favorite artists and musicians. We just released a Lady Gaga pack. Billie Eilish is in there, Imagine Dragons, Linkin Park. So whatever your music taste, there's really something to connect with. And you can even challenge your friends in multiplayer mode to see who gets the highest score. But if you're not necessarily looking for a music game, another really popular experience is the Vader Immortal Trilogy. And this is a 3-part interactive game that tells the history of Darth Vader and kind of explains how he became this villain that we know and love. And you're a hero in the story. You get to wield a lightsaber, use the Force, and actually interact with this experience as well. So for any Star Wars fan, this is a must-have.
Oh, well, I am your father. I definitely want to experience that. I think it'll make it kind of, everybody in the control room is doing their head slap, the palm to the head. Hey, it's my show. The fact is, there are so many things. You talk about being able to play games and we do these music dance moves. You probably don't even have to be a good dancer to really get into some of these things.
That's right. And you know what? If dancing isn't your thing, but you still want to get moving, actually, we've seen a lot of people using VR for fitness. And one of the best experiences is an application called Supernatural. And this app makes you feel like you're face to face with a personal trainer who takes you to these amazing locations around the world for your workout. So you might be at the Blue Lagoon in Iceland or the top of a mountain in Scotland doing this really intense workout while in your living room. And it almost makes you feel like you're not exercising. So it's a great way to kind of get your workout in, but really still experience all that virtual reality has to offer.
And see, that's amazing because in and of itself, the whole idea of having to do anything physical fitness-wise has always been a turnoff for me. It's boring. Even on the treadmill, if I don't have the TV on in front of me, I'm just not interested in walking on the treadmill. But to be able to immerse myself with a personal trainer who's doing some unique things and making it fun, there you go. Now, all of a sudden, maybe I will also be a little more physically fit now.
Well, if you want to get moving, the Quest 2 is such a good way to do that because the fact that it doesn't have any cords, it doesn't attach to a computer, that means that you can move around. And so you can play games or you can have experiences while you're seated in your living room, at your desk. But if you've got a little more space, that sense of movement and interaction and being able to explore the environment is one of the things that makes this the next generation of gaming and using applications and experiences.
And I've got to say, too, for our audience, especially those watching the video, that you see some of the things that Megan's been talking about and that we're discussing. It is very easy to set up right out of the box. I mean, because you don't have to connect to a computer, because there are no wires involved, which is very helpful because you want to move around and you don't want to be tethered to anything. So folks need to know that you don't have to be tech savvy either to truly enjoy Quest 2 and get involved in some fun virtual reality.
That's right. So even if you aren't super tech savvy, all you need to get started for the first time is a smartphone. You use that to do the initial setup. But then after that, you just put that headset on and you have access to all those applications, games, different experiences there without any other tech needed. But if you do want a little bit of extra help or you aren't entirely sure how to get started, the website oculus.com has tons of guides if you're just getting started, if you're using it for the first time, to answer any newcomer questions.
Love it. Again, very easy and a whole lot of fun, which is kind of the point here. But also educational. I mean, you talk about the ability to travel the world and wherever you always wanted to go. Well, you can go there virtually and then decide, you know what, this was so much fun, I have to go physically when I can, and that's not a bad thing at all, but you've been able to sort of get a little preview of what you might be doing as well. So take advantage of that. We also discovered it's very easy to mirror what the person wearing the Oculus headset, the Quest 2 headset, is seeing on the big screen. And so you can take advantage of that so the whole family can be involved with what's going on. Okay, now my turn, but you can see what they're seeing, not nearly as well on the 2D television, but on the headset, man, you're really in it.
Yeah, that's right. So that's a great way to make it feel like it's inclusive for the whole family. It's social. Someone can be there in the headset. Everyone else can see what's going on. And, there's also so much more multiplayer and social content. So if you do have a friend who has a headset, or if you've got two for the family, there are a lot of things you can do together. So a really great game is called Population One, where it's a team battle royale, where you've got your squad, you're climbing, you're even flying, like one of those dream experiences in VR. You're gliding around this map, trying to be the last one standing as you work with your team to take out the opponents on the map. So if you want to have those experiences together in virtual reality, it's not just about showing people on a screen what's happening. It's getting in there in those virtual worlds together.
Boy, Megan, it's too bad you obviously never have time to enjoy it yourself, right? You're sharing some of these cool things with us. I love it. I think it's terrific. The idea of playing with friends, as you mentioned, whether you have two Quest 2 headsets or not, or somebody far away in another land, across the country, whatever the case, you can play together and be in the virtual world together.
That's right. And it's not just things like playing games. You talk about me not having time to be in VR. Well, let me tell you right now, I get to have meetings in VR, meet with my coworkers while we're all working from home and remotely, and feel like we're sitting there together around a meeting table we can get up and work on a whiteboard in virtual reality. Wow. So even if you aren't necessarily looking for games with your friends or with those people around the world, there are so many ways to connect in VR today. And so actually seeing how people really feel like they're present with one another, you feel like you're connected with someone far away, has been pretty game-changing, especially while we've all been stuck at home for a while.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's almost like, we were forced to do video Zoom interviews. We call them Zoomers for the show for the last couple of years. But the audience has said, no, this is terrific. We're hearing the interview maybe in the car or while we're not available near a computer. And then we get to come and see you and the guest and the products they're talking about. Don't stop. Even when we're eventually over this pandemic, will it ever happen? I don't know. But keep up that kind of scenario. And it's sort of the same thing, it seems, with the VR world. It's like once you experience it, you want to keep doing things. You want to experience more and more things. I'm noticing over 250 games and experiences are already ready with the Quest 2 out of the box, and that's pretty cool. But also the ability to attend live events. How does that work?
Yeah, it is a great experience to be able to go see live events or concerts or sports when you can't go yourself. And so there's an application called Oculus Venues that has a broadcast from real live events happening somewhere else in the world that you pop on your headset and you feel like you've got a box seat just to watch these shows. And so one of the things that I've been able to do is actually go see live NBA games with my dad, who's in a different state. We can both put on the headset, go see that game together, talk about the game. It's really been a fantastic way to continue to have that live events experience, not just because I'm stuck at home, but also because it's far away or it's expensive or it's hard to get to those events. So it really unlocks a world of entertainment that isn't possible in your physical environment.
And even more importantly, you're doing it with your dad. I mean, how cool is that? Especially if he's across country or something of that nature. Can you see each other, or are you seeing avatars of each other? Like to look at each other for reaction to, wow, did you see that play or, that score, whatever? Is there that kind of interaction that you can accomplish as well?
There absolutely is that interaction and sense of presence. So you will have an avatar that represents yourself. You can customize it. I can pick my hairstyle. I can pick my outfit that I wear to the game. My dad can do the same thing. And then because the Quest lets you sort of express yourself and has your body movement come through and give you that sense of presence in the environment, it really feels like you're there with someone. Even though the avatar maybe isn't the perfect photorealistic representation of them, there's something so special about just seeing people's movements, seeing them cheer, seeing them high five each other when someone scores. And that's all possible there in that environment.
And the same thing, I'm guessing, with a concert, right? Because I'm seeing on the website that Quest is ready for things like concerts. So if you can't attend that, you can attend that virtually and experience the same sort of thing because you're literally immersed in it now.
Exactly. And you know what? We think that being there in person with the people or the experiences that you love, that's always going to be the best.
Oh,
like
of course.
There's something so special about being together in person. But when you can't be there, having this opportunity to really transport yourself around the world or around the country or to people who are far away. Sometimes I even talk about a virtual reality headset like Quest 2's almost like a teleportation device that puts you there with the people or the experiences that you just can't get to otherwise.
And I have to ask real quick before we flat run out of time, I'm reminded of medical uses as well. When you say, even if you can't be somewhere, well, maybe you're stuck in a hospital or some facility where you can't go places, but can it also be used to help you recover from, any debilitating concern that you might be dealing with?
Well, there's a lot of really interesting work happening across virtual reality related to health, related to medicine. Some of those experiences aren't necessarily the ones that a person picking up the Quest 2 will find in the App Store, but are being developed custom for training doctors, for helping people access telemedicine. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that over the coming years. But if you're looking for a way to maybe improve your health or find that sort of sense of rehabilitation and recovery, another thing we're seeing in Quest 2 and VR today is a lot of mindfulness and meditation. You can imagine you put on this headset and you've blocked out all distractions. So if you want to have a moment of mindfulness on the top of a mountain or in a peaceful forest, really it's a great way to kind of quiet your mind and make sure you're focused on yourself for a little while. And that's been a really interesting case that we've seen more and more people using in VR.
Well, Megan, you're a delight to chat with. I absolutely want to get you back on the show because there's so much more to talk about. And whether or not there's a Quest 3 around the corner, probably too soon. But the fact is that there is a lot to cover and new apps always available and all sorts of things. And before my staff comes into the studio and grabs these from me so they can start fighting over it again, want to thank you so much for joining us because it's been a lot of fun, and I think we've given some folks another great last-minute Christmas idea at only $299, all-inclusive, and you got stuff and you're good to go. But make sure they open it maybe toward the last parts of presents, or they won't get to the other presents because they'll be on the Quest 2 the whole rest of Christmas. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dave.
My pleasure. Megan Fitzgerald is the Director of Product Marketing for Reality Labs, part of Meta, a big part of Meta, formerly known as Facebook. You can visit Oculus.com. Of course, we'll get you there, but Oculus.com, even Meta, META.com, I'm sure will get you there, and you'll see all about the Quest 2. Be sure to visit us at intotomorrow.com and see the video and all the cool elements as Megan's talking about these various things that we're showing you again on the video at intotomorrow.com. We're back with more. Don't go away. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned right here on the Advanced Media Network.